Melissa, your free range psychic. Today is March 16th, 2025. And I believe St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those who celebrate. So today I'm going to do a past life on, or possible past life of Jimmy Carter, who passed away very recently, December 29th, I believe, 2024. And I'm very excited to do this past life. Always surprised where my guides lead me. And I always preface any past life I do with really saying, this is not set in stone, this is not absolute, this is just what my guides showed me, what they led me to. And it took me a little while to find this incarnation. I wasn't aware of this person. I'm a terrible history student, I guess, of American history. Anyway, but as you can see from the montage or at the beginning, my guides led me to Roger Sherman, who was a founding father. Initially, when I asked my guides who Jimmy Carter was, or a possible past life, I should say, because he's had many, of course, I heard founding father, and then I couldn't figure it out, and then I kind of left it, and then when I came back to it, I was led to Roger Sherman. And then, of course, I'm like arguing with my guides. But as I juxtaposed those pictures, and it's weird because, there wasn't photography back in the day during Revolutionary War times, I started noticing a lot of similarities. And then if you look at their past lives, they both have past lives now because they're both passed on, so many similarities. And I realized, yes, that this is potentially, very possibly, that a legitimate past life that Jimmy Carter had. It makes absolute sense. So what I'm going to do is just going to quickly go through their past lives, which is really, of course, not going to do them justice because, come on, Jimmy Carter, living to 100, and just the impact he made on the world. And Roger Sherman also, just so much. So I'm going to miss a lot of things. Please be students of history if you're curious and bring things to my attention. I know I'm going to miss things, but I also am going to be economic with time. So I'm just going to do my best here. Just give you a really brief history of both of them, as brief as it could be, considering. So we have Roger Sherman. Were other people aware? Obviously, students of American history, especially during that time, would have been aware of Roger Sherman. I was not. Born April 19th, 1721. He was born, I believe, in Massachusetts to farmers. A family of farmers. And his father also was a shoemaker. So Roger Sherman was a member of the Committee of Five who drafted the Declaration of Independence, and that included John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and Robert R. Livingston. So major, right? And there's a famous painting of that. I believe I included it in the intro. So Roger Sherman started off without really any formal education, but he was super bright, and he had access to his father's library, which apparently was superior, and he was also taken under the wing of a educated parish minister by the name of Samuel Dunbar, and he was really encouraged to follow a legal career path. And he actually did pass the bar and became an attorney, which is pretty remarkable if you think about it, because he was self-educated. he was educated regarding a career path to be a cobbler, but then he soon just spread his wings, and it's a really interesting path because he served on local political and judicial boards. He helped his family extend their business. He became a county surveyor, and that's where he got the money to. He and his brother expanded his father's business, and he then began to publish almanacs, which were very popular, I think, throughout the country. And he served as, I think, a judge on the Supreme Court of Connecticut. Eventually, he made his way to the United States House of Representatives to represent Connecticut from 1789 to 1791, and he served in the United States Senate from 1791 till his death. So he was really important at the time in terms of, especially I believe the policy of a bicameral representation from the states. That was a big thing for him, and he certainly was very, very influential regarding the how our democracy was structured. And he, in terms of his personal life, he married twice. His first wife died, I think, after giving him two children, and then he married again. And the second marriage, the first woman was Elizabeth Hartwell. The second was Rebecca Elizabeth Roger. Oh, sorry, I got that name wrong. Elizabeth Preston Sherman, I'm sorry. And I believe she's a reincarnation of Rosalind Carter's her reincarnation. And she has a great deal of a notable renown for assisting Betsy Ross with sewing the stars on the American flag. And there's a portrait of her doing that. But she was very important in terms of being like a co-partner with her husband, very active, very influential. They had a wonderful intellectual partnership. And he had 8 children with her, and then I guess he has 15 altogether, so 7 with the other wife, and 13 of his children made it to adulthood, and they themselves became extremely influential. I think one became a Supreme Court justice, but you have to look that up. It's so fascinating. And he's working up until his death, just like Jimmy Carter. So I hope that wasn't too botched, the history of Roger Sherman, but I'll go on to Jimmy Carter, born October 1st, 1924, and passes away December 29th of last year. And so Wikipedia sums him up as an American politician, humanitarian, serving from 1977 to 1981 as the 39th President of the United States, as a member of the Democratic Party, and he served as a governor of Georgia before then from 63 to 67. No, I'm sorry. He was that was 1971 to 1975, and then before then he was on the Georgia State Senate from 63 to 67. He's the first American president to live to 100. Born in Plains, Georgia, to a family of farmers, and he was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He ended up enrolling in the U.S. Naval Academy in 1946, and he served as a nuclear scientist with the submarine division. So here I see this paragraph where it kind of gives a little bit more information. So he's born James Earl G. Carter Jr., mother, a registered nurse, eldest son of Bessie, Lily Gordon, and James Earl Carter, descendant of English immigrant Thomas Carter, who settled the colony of Virginia in 1635. Father, successful local businessman who ran a general store. So they were not poorly off, I guess. He was an investor in farmland. The father, and after he graduated from the Naval Academy, he actually came back to his father's farm and assisted with improving that business. He left active duty in 1963 for a year. After he married Rosalind Smith, who became Rosalind Carter, and they wed in 1946. And he actually had a year where he and his wife lived in public housing, where they raised their 3 sons because they were struggling financially. When he left active duty, he decided to become involved in politics, where he was very active with integration. That was a passion for him. And he ran for Georgia State Senate on that issue. Rosalind was apparently instrumental in his campaign. And then, sorry for the ums, as I'm trying to piece together this botched or disorganized biography here. But we know what happened. He ends up as president, and it's really after his presidency where he becomes extremely respected and renowned, because I think, if you look at his presidency, I think it was extremely successful. He helped with the Camp David Accords. He established the Panama Canal treaties. He introduced the second arms limitation. He put solar panels on the White House. He was really ahead of his time regarding energy policy, and U.S. energy policy, and he developed the Department of Energy and the Department of Education. That was on Jimmy Carter. So he gets very panned, because I think, like Biden, you have this cabal of right-wing conservatives who want to bring him down and implement extreme right-wing policies, and the oil industries, etc. They did not like Jimmy Carter, but he was I think he was an amazing president. Of course, you had that thing, the conspiracy really of Ronald Reagan and his people impeding Jimmy Carter on freeing the hostages. Was it in Iran? But that wasn't on Jimmy Carter. That was behind his back. There was a lot of conspiracy to stall it until the presidential run, and then Reagan could take credit for it. I see so many parallels between Carter and Biden, but then afterwards you have Carter continually being active all the way up till almost his death with Habitat for Humanity and all kinds of detente all over the world, brokering peace deals, things like that. And did you really hear about that until he died? So, remarkable man. And no, I didn't do him justice. So sorry. But I'm going to be using the Gilded Tarot for the reading. And we do have a card from the Ascended Masters for the Oracle card. So I want to do tarot for the past life reading. It's just kind of seeing the parallels and also maybe the differences or where the personalities diverged. And since they're both passed away, the future is going to be also a reflection on the imprint that they made. So here we have the Hierophant representing both men. This is the government, and this is the establishment of governmental policy, institutional policy, both of them extremely important in their own way, also represented by justice, because they both work for justice, for equality, for fairness, and for the people. And then also Ace of Swords. In this instance, the Ace of Swords is going to represent establishment of ideas, new ways of thinking about things, innovation. Above, we have Eight of Pentacles, both of them working until nearly up to their deaths, being focused on benefiting the United States, humanity. Their work is important. It has longevity. It's instrumental in the foundation of our democracy. Ace of Cups also represents Jimmy Carter and Roger Sherman, and this is love, a higher love for humanity, higher love for the country, and this inspires them. And in the past, we have the Ace of Swords, and so this is not the Ace of Swords, I'm sorry, Strength, the Strength card. And this is rising up from adversity. Both men rise up from adversity, and then to bring in abundance. They're also represented by the King of Pentacles here. And it's like whatever they touch, it increases in abundance, increases in prosperity. This is, what they bring. And not just for themselves, obviously, but for the planet, like for our country. And below, this is the Empress, this is the United States. This is their motivation to serve our country, to serve the people of the United States, and to change the history, to bring it into a more progressive state. The end of their lives is represented by the World and the Five of Cups, and what this is really meaning is that they were both mourned around the world, really. This is a great loss that impacts the world. It's a completion also. So they are, in our recent memories, Jimmy Carter is so missed. Beloved, important figures who the world mourns for their passing. And the clarifying card here is the Ace of Pentacles, and these are both men who brought in, here, I'm not talking really about wealth here, but really legislation, passing bills, creating, departments, like Jimmy Carter did, of education. Huge changes in policy here. And then we have, Roger Sherman having signed the Declaration of Independence and other very important legislation that fundamentally changed the future of our country and brought us into our democracy. So then the outcome card here for both of them, you have the Star and you have the Hermit. So the guides say that this is both of these men being visionaries. They're both ahead of their time, bringing in new energies of, really Aquarian energies, if you think about it, of equality, of, and especially I'm thinking of Jimmy Carter here, because he was a huge proponent of global, being identifying as one world, that where our fate was interconnected, and wanting to bring in a more unified, peaceful sharing and interconnectivity between all of the countries in the world. And his whole work was towards that. And then I guess you have Sherman being the same way for the founding of this country and all the states and the people in our country all having fair representation. So that is my past life reading on Jimmy Carter and Roger Sherman. And I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Please educate me. But I really wanted to do something also to bring, not just the importance for me of being able to focus on a life of Jimmy Carter, who I dearly loved, and what a unfairly maligned person he was, and president. He was a great president. There's nothing wrong with his presidency, but also let's remember the people the great Americans, what America ideally can stand for, and not this other crap that's going on with this Russian coup that we're experiencing. That does not represent America. No, it does not. So, okay, let's just segue to the Oracle card. And here the guides show us the power of joy. And this is Maitreya. To find your desired outcome, follow the path of joy. Your life's purpose is supported by the joy and passion you feel when you're thinking about or working on your purpose. The joy that you feel within relationships keeps them alive, exciting, and growing. The joy that comes from your hobbies gives you extra energy. Of all the emotions, joy has the highest energy vibration. Joy has the power to remove all obstacles and attract all of your needs. Joy reminds us that we needn't suffer at all. We can fulfill our purpose, help ourselves and others, and heal through the power of joy. Additional meanings: stay positive and filled with faith to manifest your desires into reality. Find the humor in the situation. Enjoy a good laugh. Develop hobbies that bring you pleasure. To find your life's purpose, do what brings you joy. Maitreya, who's also called Hotai, Laughing Buddha, and Lord Maitreya, is a familiar image of the smiling and rotund Buddha. His name means the loving one. He lived as a Buddhist monk who was renowned for his compassion and generosity. Some Buddhists believe that Maitreya is the future Buddha who will succeed Siddhartha Gautama as the next Buddha. Call upon Maitreya to increase your happiness and joy. Maitreya. So we all need to bring joy into our lives. It's really, really important right now. Let's rise above this negativity that's surrounding us and reconnect with our higher selves and our destiny, our purpose as light workers, to usher in Aquarius and the new age. That's the message from the guides. Okay, you guys, I love you. There is a musical interlude at the end. I know I haven't posted one for a while. I hope you enjoy it. You guys, stay strong. My information is below in the description box. If you want a personal reading, you want to connect with me. Also, it's at the end of the musical interlude. You guys take care, and I'll be doing a live, I think this coming Thursday at 3, but I'll post it to make sure you know that that's 100%. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.